roadmap to emancipating and giving us the right value for what we have. A continent of 1.5 billion people. It's a major demographics in the world, and we are spread over everywhere on earth. I don't think outside the Chinese, I don't even know, they don't have the numbers, that there's another race that gets trying to travel as much as we do. So we thank God for just being given this opportunity to do this, because at the end of the day, someone has to do this, and that is it's on you to get this done. Means that it's an honor, to be able to be one of those that tries to bring a whole lot of light, to bring a lot of dimension for your people to appreciate the changes in place and find knowledge and find a helping hand across the Atlantic for brothers to be able to work together and sisters to be able to come together, share ideas, create products, be it digital or physical products, and go ahead and help us be the first in line to benefit out of that. So that having been said, I feel pretty honored to be doing what we're doing. So I thank God that we have a crew that's always been part of what we do. So we look forward to always having them on to be able to do what we're doing. So we anticipate a very, very interactive show that we can always find time to do stuff together, and not just talk the talk, but walk the walk, create opportunities, create value chain, identify unique situation, unique requirement, and try to provide them. Especially, we think it's even easier because of the evolving technology, which is really driving the entire economic sectors across different sectors, manufacturing, software, service industry, health, and financial industries. These are all transformed sectors by the application of technology, which is what we do. My name is Atai Abbott. My stage name is King Coco. I run a radio show as well, which is what I feel very comfortable doing to be able to support the cause of driving collaboration for our brothers and sisters, both in the continent of Africa and across the Atlantic, as well as the Americas. So we look forward to a very interesting session, and hopefully we're going to bring through a few more lights, because the entire premise of what we do is driven by the need to drive high-level collaboration, create awareness, and let our folks home and abroad appreciate what we do and see the need to pick it up. So we're going to touch base on a few improvements on the platform that powers this exercise, which is the ViaNile platform. ViaNile is an integrated social business networking platform with a very high level of high number of revenue streams, which is something we drive our folks to be part of. ViaNile is in the app stores for both Android and as well as the iPhones. So with this in mind, you can actually download this application on any of these platforms and see what could be done. The functionalities of ViaNile are awesome. I'm not going to really dwell into that today, but we may just want to speak a little bit about a peculiar situation which has to do with security, of which we have a functionality on ViaNile that can actually be integrated and repurposed to provide emergency tracking and alert system. For those of us that live anywhere in America, we are aware of the Amber Alert. Amber Alert is an alert that goes across the entire country when there is a case of the kidnap of a young kid. And in most cases, this has resulted in at least 85% recovery of those children before they get harmed by their abductors. And so we have totally looked at this situation and come to terms that our country and a lot of countries in Africa needs some intelligence gathering tool that could give them real-time actionable intelligence to be able to protect and respond to people in need of security or safety. So I might just throw a little more light on that. And for those of us that are already on ViaNile, we'll be able to see how we can usually push a button and activate that process. We're very excited to see what's going to happen with this, because we believe that will be a major part of the solution to the Nigerian situation today and a bunch of other locations all over the world that has a required security problem that needs some decent and actionable intelligence that could be cogent and verifiable and traceable as well. So we really believe that this is going to really turn the next corner for what we're trying to do. And so we look forward to putting this up there. I'm sure once this is ready, we'll be glad to throw this out there. So I welcome my regular folks. I thank you guys for being tenacious. And to be honest with you, consistency is the only thing that makes a difference in what we're trying to do. So as long as we stay focused, we stay consistent to the roadmap and to the plan, I'm sure we'll drive the purpose we all started together. So I have the opportunity. Thank you guys for doing what you do and supporting the whole concept of what we're trying to achieve, bringing Black folks in manufacturing, in production, in software development, in any areas of technology to be able to work together. So I look forward to a whole lot of interaction today to keep this going, because we all believe that we are all responsible for what we make out of life. We cannot permanently keep blaming folks for our own problem, because I think we are equally neglecting a lot of our own problem. And by so doing, we're equally opening ourselves for a sucker punch from different sectors. So, so we have to really think, we live in an era where all you need to do is think. Thinking is all we gotta do here to be able to do what we're doing, So we're gonna explore those opportunities and bring forth some discussion on what has happened in terms of accessing funds by small organizations through the Bill Gates and the Google Foundation. And this is very exciting to talk about, because they have been able to support Black businesses. Google has actually created a program that wants to support Black businesses too. So Mohammed, how you doing? Welcome, Mohammed. What's going on?
Yeah, all good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just nice to see you guys again. And we were not here when we started. So value system, please, can we just play a traditional video? Let's start up with that reference material that we know speaks a lot about what we try to achieve. If we can just set that up, that would be nice to introduce that to our folks today. Thank you, bro.
This chart to me represents beautiful, educated, moneyed Black people all over America. It could represent Black organizations. It could represent Black churches. It could represent Black social and civic organizations. And what you will notice about these beautiful Black people all over America is that everybody is doing their own thing. Caught up in a Eurocentric value of rugged individualism, having forgotten that it takes a village to raise a child. There is no power here, brothers and sisters. There is no power here. Power is most effective concentrated. You can take a 55-gallon drum of water, spill it over, it will disperse, find its own level, and eventually evaporate. You can take that same 55-gallon drum of water, put it under pressure, put a lid on it, put a hose in it, put a nozzle on the end of that hose, and it can cut concrete. There is no power with us being disconnected. See, there's nothing wrong with dispersion. I live in Cleveland, you live in Atlanta. We have folk in the Caribbean, we have folk in Africa. That's dispersion. That's okay, but we do not have to be disconnected. We are a disconnected people. We are powerless in disconnection. This is where all the power is. You see? This is where all the power is. Whether you are at the center of your own network or part of someone else's network, this is where the power is. There's a beautiful African proverb that says, when spiders unite, they can tie up a lion. When we connect, because we are disconnected, we're disconnected from those of like mind. We're disconnected from the best practices in our community. I don't care what it is that you want to do, what profession you want to engage in, what business you want to get into. I can introduce you to brothers and sisters all over America they are doing it to death. You just don't know who they are. You are disconnected from them. There is no power in disconnection. Okay? When we connect, we prevent interlopers from coming into our communities and taking and destroying at will. Hi, George. Trying to open up the Booker T. Washington delicatessen in Chinatown and see what happens. So we must connect. We must connect the dots. That must be the movement for our people in the 21st century. We need a lot of us doing a little instead of a few of us doing a lot. We need to get together to get ahead.
That is what we're talking about. I always love this video because it helps us explain why we have been really struggling and why we need to connect, because everybody is doing his own thing. And where everybody's doing his own thing, there's no synergy, we don't find common grounds, we dissipate our energy. That video just said that when spiders unite, they could actually tie up a lion. Apparently, because you get more stronger and powerful in connectivity, whether you are at the center of the network or you are at the periphery, it is all part of a network, and gradually people drift into being in the center if we are all connected. So that's the whole essence of this program. And we realized that as a people, if we have to move beyond where we at and support Black businesses and ensure that we all find out what is necessary to be done, then there's need to share knowledge. And apparently, we live in times that requires so much of continuous learning, so much of a learning culture within our organization, actually. And it's only those organizations that are really designed to continuously train the teams and the workforce that is going to remain adaptive in this era of digital transformation. And that is where we believe that if we've been able to create a $1 million company by a few young folks that probably have never left the shores of Africa, then it's important to drive the training deep and create opportunity for all these players to be able to showcase what they have and evaluate, so that the work would evaluate them for what it is and go ahead and monetize those platforms. So that's what we really set out to do. And with that, we believe that you must connect to be able to do that. If we're not connected, then it's really difficult to get ahead, But we've been trying this for so many years, deliberately or consciously, and we still struggle. We're still some of the most endangered races today in the world. We're still one of the most abused and harassed people because of who we are. Apparently, they don't even care where you come from. So it's good that we all get together, because we're the only race that don't get together. All other races do that. But today, we're going to equally highlight something of significant value to what we're trying to do, because you connect to get support from each other in terms of viewership, in terms of investment, in terms of actually development processes. So we are going to highlight what has really happened for a few Black-owned opportunities that has been able to be supported, and the other opportunities available where Black-owned enterprises could approach for support So we're going to share a few information with you regarding those situations because we think it's important to put it out there that it's not really the foreigners or the outsiders that are the problem of our continent. Most especially, our problem is more of our own infliction, because where we see a situation and we don't jump on it early enough to nip it in the bud, and everybody plays the ostrich, the beach ostrich, where we all pretend it's not really my fault, it's my turn, and all this kind of stuff. Then we are all going to really have to deal with a bigger situation that no one can really predict how the outcome is going to be. So it's important we discuss these issues and figure out how not to permanently put ourselves in the wrong spot, and those spot doesn't really take us far. So please share our YouTube link and hit the subscription button and get notification when we just show up for the show. And we all agree and know that this show normally happens every Tuesday and every Saturday same time, which is 8 p.m. West African time, 3 p.m. Eastern time, New York, and Dublin time and UK time, 7 p.m. So please endeavor to just give us a follow-up, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscription button. Let's just keep building this approach, because the only way we can get ahead is to connect. And thank God that we have a functional platform that drives connectivity. Before, we were all limited with embracing religion or language to be able to connect and find so much interest, common interest together. But today, technology has even proven to be a bigger connector. Looking at Facebook with over 1.6 billion, 1.9 billion people, that is a major number to appreciate. So we're going to have to stay connected, because if we're not connected, then we're still going to have the same situation all over the place. How can we train our young folks? How can we empower our people not to be dependent on aid or handovers? How can we really get to ensure that the projection of United Nations for Africa to provide over 50% of the global workforce is actualized? That is what we set out to do, because with the powering company ViaNile.com on this project, we can create those jobs. We can create those training opportunities. We can share those training materials across unlimited boundaries, real or virtual. And at the end of the day, we'll be able to achieve the whole essence of training our folks to be able to pick up the emerging skill set, which are all very serious issues today. So we really appreciate your commitment to the cause. I totally subscribe to the ViaNile application, because we think it's going to bring in a whole lot of turnaround, not just in terms of revenue, but in terms of empowering our people, training our people, and equally managing our own content, which is what we've been really missing for a long time. We cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. So I really appreciate what we've been doing here, and we look forward to sharing some of this knowledge, and we want people to be able to contribute. If you cannot type something, throw in something, because it's amazing what the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has been able to put out here for a beneficiary out of UNILAG, as they have contributed 958 million grants to support her research. She is actually a gynecologist and was awarded the research grant of $2.5 million, which translates to almost $1 billion in contemporary rates in Nigeria. And she is solely entitled at her discretion to use that grant and not to be paid back, to continue in research and development within her field. That's awesome, you know, and we don't find a lot of our folks seeing the need to drive innovation through research and development, because at the end of the day, you must constantly research every opportunity to be able to create something new out of it. And where that is not done, then the society stagnates, which is what happens in a lot of continents of Africa. I can tell you guys one thing for straight, that a lot of money for research and development training, if properly used and applied in the continent of Africa or Black folks, we would not be sitting here struggling just to play catch up. Because playing catch up in technology can never help you win. So please, I appreciate you guys to train some chat or feedback on the chat platform so we can get to know what's really going on and what you guys need to know, what have we done, what do we need to do differently. This is all the essence of creating this opportunity. And if you equally have a product or project you think should be interesting to know, you are entitled to share that information with us. So thank you guys very much. Sorry about that. So that's what we're doing here, and we're not going to stop. You know, we'll be barely 6 shows into this Alliance of Pan-African Association. We believe that someone has to initiate, and we don't just need to talk the talk. We need to equally walk the walk. Let us create opportunity for our children. Let's create opportunity for our siblings, our friends. Let us create opportunity for manufacturers. You know, like we're aware of the African Continental Free Trade Zone. That's the dynamics that we all need to jump on at the same time, understand how we can collaborate to drive a 54-country treaty that will empower everybody to run as one product or as a one producer. You know, look at the details of this. It's important we understand all these treaties. The AGA is almost 5 years to expiration. It's just now that some countries are now really aware of what could have been done. But it's still rather not too late. You know, Ghana did a whole lot of benefit out of the AGOA because they created a desk in Washington, D.C. for a representative to manage the entire process and help them frame up the roadmap that's being implemented today. So these are all ways that countries in Africa must get together once there are these global treaties to understand the workings of those treaties, and equally be part of the formulation of the policies that become the roadmap for those policy implementation, valuation, and validation. So that's why we think that it's time we start talking to each other, get each other to understand the fact that there's a lot on our plate, but we just need to figure out which side of the food to sit up and be part of the feast. Otherwise, we can't keep complaining. We don't manage our own resources. We don't manage our content. You know, we're not playing a major role in the e-commerce platform. Look at the kind of money these folks make. You know, when Facebook walked away with $86 billion, huh? And you can look at Apple with $360 billion. I'm talking about $1 billion. The entire Big Four, Big Five digital entrepreneurs made over $1 trillion in the last 12 months of last year. And none of our companies were there to be part of it, to benefit from it. That's why we felt if we can get together to start driving the whole consciousness and the awareness on the importance, relevance, and who is doing what in our industries, and so it will be easy to be able to get this information out there and make the best use of them. Because when you say you're in a data era, you need to be able to develop the pattern that comes with all this amount of data and see the best fit and the best use that can be put to it. So it's just a very, very unique situation, and we think we're doing about what's right to be done. That's why we need your feedback to be able to understand what can be improved on and what aspect of the show that we really focus on, and then answer your question regarding the ViaNile platform that powers it. So for me, at all times, I'm very excited to be doing what I'm doing. Just hit the subscription button on YouTube. Please share the YouTube link. Let people be able to join the show same time, Tuesdays and Saturdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Time and 8 p.m. West African Time and Nigerian Time. We're sorry we might not have to put all the times out there, but we can find out how we can get around this time to be part of the show. So, Collins, how are you today? Can you unmute your phone, Collins? How are you doing today?
I'm good, my brother. How are you?
I'm good. I like to have your videos on in a comfortable place because YouTube doesn't pick up just voice messages alone on the Zoom platform. So it's important we all are able to highlight some decent background, and let's just be able to see others. So Collins, tell me about it. How's it been in Ghana?
Everything is okay. But like you're saying, it's not too okay because there's a lot we have to do as a continent. There's a lot, we are lacking behind a lot of things. So generally it's okay, but I think we have to put our hands together and get things right so that we wouldn't be always talking about retrogression. You see, so I think we're going to get there. Once we've started, I'm sure we're going to get there very soon. Ghana is good. Everything is okay here.
We're very good at hoping. We're very good at hoping we're going to get there at all times. This is what I had as a child. To be honest with you, as a kid, I had we're going to get there. Things are going to get better. But apparently from every evaluation, it looks like things getting worse. So how are you going to get there? If I may ask you, Ghana seems to be doing pretty well lately. And I thank God for that because at least I'm aware of what your president did in the last 18 months to 24 months regarding the trip he took to a lot of Afro-Caribbean countries and motivating them to come back home for the 400th year of the African navigation, which I think was very successful. I have a lot of stars now that wants to go and live in Ghana. I know of Steve Harvey. I know a whole lot of stars that have decided to pitch there. So you see, you can imagine the little that your president did, the kind of result it yields to Ghana. I just saw a few days ago that Ghanaian money is the most valuable in Africa. And it couldn't be without the influx of foreign exchange from all the sources that probably was never factored in. So what's happening after the election there, and how they look at things in terms of the diaspora coming back to play roles in the system and buy property? Is it kicking in properly well?
Well, election was tough. It was keenly contested. One won, but I think the other thought he was somehow the votes or maybe things were manipulated, so he went to court. But eventually, it was given to the incumbent. And then things were slowed down a bit because of they were looking for the outcome and what was going to happen. Maybe it could, but I didn't. And things have started picking up. I think the ministers were elected, and then I think they were vetted. So I think we now have excuse me, let me get. So I think we now have our budget, and then I think an appropriation bill has also been passed. So we're looking at a good year. Yes, you're looking at a good year.
I'm pretty happy for that country, because looking at the history they came a long way. They made some very daring moves in the continent, and some of the most influential Afrocentric people, Pan-Africanists. As a matter of fact, Martin Luther King was highly motivated by Nkrumah, and it's after they came back from the 1958 Ghanaian independence that they all went back to start declaring for independence and emancipation of Black folks. So, and I like what Ghana is still doing. I give it to you guys because even they could be better, but it's comparatively, they're really stepping up. I know a friend of mine, a Black American lady that relocated to Ghana, is the guy that initiated the industrial cannabis law in the Ghanaian parliament last year, and she's still driving that. You know, so we understand what this means to the entire system. But I just highlighted the discussion where Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation provided a 2.5 million grants to a Nigerian professor of gynecologists in the University of Lagos. And this is what we're talking about. Most of these international agencies know the importance of providing financial support to brand new project or research and development, because this is the only way that you can actually transform a situation, bring value by continuously researching, continuously learning, and training new people to appreciate and use that. So we are very excited to identify with Bill Gates and Melinda Gates on this kind of gesture. And this tells us that the continent of Africa and its leadership has to confront the issues and the problems of this country head on, because it cannot depend on other players to come and lead the cause. At the end of the day, most of their effort is misunderstood or misconstrued for one reason or the other. So that's a pretty good one. And that brings us to another global company that's doing something very tangible in the continent. And we want to equally appreciate their contribution, which is the Google. The Google global brand has created an opportunity to support Black-owned businesses. And this is very important because the Western world really appreciate and believe in the benefit and the power of a startup venture capital. But here, because of a whole lot of inconsistencies, a bunch of folks don't have access to the much needed capital to be able to be part of this situation. So Google has gone ahead to launch an opportunity. Thank you very much. Has gone to launch an opportunity to support Black businesses. And it's important we all get to know some of these situations, because we need to take advantage of them and equally commend them for their effort. You know, I don't know if you want to play the video. I don't know how long that video is, because this is why we do what we're doing, to see if we can actually get able to know the purpose and the benefits out there. Let's hear a little bit of it. Thank you back, and I appreciate that. Okay, so that's fine.
The four-way is a destination place. Right here between these walls is a lot of history. We tried to operate a decent, respectable place that anybody would feel bad to walk in. I am Black, beautiful. I must be respected. It was for everybody. You never know who you're gonna meet.
Black lawyers, doctors, educators, Martin Luther King, B.B. King, Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. You're sitting in a place where giants ate.
Thank you. Thank you.
The four-way
as a restaurant, and the Cleves family meant so much to this neighborhood.
To have a place where you have dignity and belong, that's the legacy of the Four-Way.
Loving people, sharing and caring and loving people. That's a great way to think.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So please check out Google and search for support for Black-owned businesses and see what can be done to your own operation, which is why we created this show, so you could share some of this information with folks to be able to appreciate and take advantage of this information. And if you have other opportunities like that, then we will be glad to equally have that as part of the discussion on the show, so we can always bring it on as much as possible to our brothers anywhere they are. Some of these benefits are not regulated by geography or where they're at, so it's pretty good that you look at these opportunities and see how you can take advantage of it. Writing for grants might just require a little bit extra hand, but I bet you is really worth it if you're looking at the specific areas that attract a whole lot of these grants, and that's the only way, And so this is important. We really appreciate what Google has done, and we bring it to folks to know that you can go searching for the classification of businesses under Google that they support, and then see how you can meet up the requirements to be able to benefit from this relationship. So Google House, man, we thank you guys a lot for doing it that way, and we look forward to any form of collaboration, doing what we do to perfect and enhance and complement what you guys are doing with these resources and the capabilities you have as a technology company. So that's basically why we think that we need to do what we're doing, Mohammed, what's up, my brother? How you doing today? You can unmute your microphone and contribute. What do you think about this information I just shared with you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Everything's going well. I'm just amazed by what's really going on, and I'm just hoping and praying and trying to contribute to make sure that it does actually happen, and it's happening. And this is what I want, is consistency. You're here every week giving the same story, which is a positive one for everybody here in the UK that is Black and African, and also around the world. Africans can zoom in somewhere and hear about some of their issues, and eventually they'll understand that they need to help and contribute. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm happy.
My brother, we're just gonna have to do this. I knew you came when I have done the basic introduction. That is the first time I'm hosting the show in the continent of Africa. I've done this in Europe. I've done this in America. I've done this in the Caribbean. But I'm excited to be doing this right off my neck of the wood. This is where I grew up. I'm right in a city called Uyo, in Akwa Ibom state of Nigeria, where you have the biggest Exxon Mobil operation in the sub-Saharan region. Exxon owns a lot of capacity out of the state of Akwa Ibom, and I'm excited to be doing this. And I think I wish my folks would really appreciate what we're trying to do and take advantage of it. I hope they'll be willing to come out and collaborate. But you see, I'm sorry to say, what I've seen on ground, the motivation, the whole mindset is not where it should be. So there's need to actually reestablish the mindset of continuous learning, a corporate culture of learning, of being agile, as well as equally being lean in thinking, because the post-COVID situation is not the same like it was before now, and it will never be the same again. That situation will never come back. So it's pretty much important that people just wake up and see what we've been talking about in the last 24 months, of where the world is moving to, the whole functionality of the digital industry, where you have over $30 trillion to be made out of the new emerging technology, the era of metrics and ecosystems that are put together to deliver multiple value streams of revenue and income, as well as services. This is a whole different times, and it's important we all get to understand what we're talking about here, because if that's not the case, then we are sure going to lose out, because the next 10 years is going to be a major determinant on how people play in the digital space, in terms of workforce, in terms of product and services developed, in terms of enhancing existing businesses. And we all see.
I would just like to add, that is exactly what you're doing. And without your input, then people will not be aware. So it's an awareness.
Yes, small organizations with digital capabilities are buying off as it's going, and you don't take advantage of what we do or what we say, then it's not really a fault, you know. Take advantage of what we're trying to do, because it's very important we understand where the world is going. We understand where we can fit in the puzzle. We understand why we have to do what we do. Otherwise, we will still sit back. I don't want to call different races that I've been part of and seen what they've been able to do, but between me and you, a lot of folks have taken advantage of the third industrial revolution, the internet era, which was a major area where the dot-coms came into being and made all the money. So knowledge is power. If you are not empowered with the right knowledge, you might still make profit in any investment you do, but I bet you want to make maximum profit on your investment, you know, and even then you'll be struggling to survive in the face of agile organizations like Facebook, like Amazon, like Google, like even this YouTube we're talking about. These are agile platforms that are highly adaptive. They're permanently offering you an extra feature based on what the user needs. So I like to refer to Zoom itself, that moved from 10 million daily users to 200 million daily users in a span of just 60 to 90 days of COVID, because life changed in a way people needed to connect, people needed to stay safe, and all they could do was to resort to virtual platforms to interact, and it worked. Jobs continue happening, people were safe. The only difference was that we're not making personal contact with people, which was totally uncalled for because of the pandemic. So if we don't seem to see how and where the world has changed and where it's going, then I think it's going to be really difficult to now survive in an adaptive world where conglomerates are merging together to take advantage of technology to stay ahead. If you don't have it, you don't have it. So Gina, how are you doing? Good to see you, man. How's Atlanta, Gina? You want to unmute your microphone, Gina? How is Atlanta? Oh, okay. Probably, hopefully, we have Gina back. We'll be glad to have her contribution. She's always an excitement to listen to, based on her perspective on how she analyzes what we do and how we do it. So I love to have her contribution as we go. African growth, man. I've highlighted two major developments for support for startups by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, as well as Google, providing support for Black businesses. What's your take on that, and what does that speak to us about?
Hello, King Coco. It's always a pleasure to be able to give my 2 pence on this show. Yeah, regarding the grant that has been given by the Gates Foundation to the doctor in from Unilag. That's a fantastic thing. And you see, that's the kind of support that most Africans would not be used to. You see, they'll not be used to that kind of support, whereas that would be a common feature in the West, the Western part of the world. You know. So, but if you look at it, that is good in itself, and hopefully the lady in question would actually use it, and turn out something positive for Nigeria and obviously for Africa. But again, if you look at it from another perspective, you see that is just she's going to do a research and fine. You highlighted that point about Africans not being innovative and all that, right? So let's hope she does the research, comes out with something concrete that can be implemented, and that will be fantastic. But how about the collaboration that we've been talking about? Collaboration in the sense that all we are asking for Africans to do. You see, that gets to me every time I hear people talking about it. You see, Africans are said to be the most. You see, with the video you put up there from the start, the most uncooperative set of people anywhere in the world. And the reason is not far fetched. You see, the average African is said to have the mentality that they can't work together. I mean, this is not rocket science. Think about it for 1 second. All it will take, that this is the solution. Africans like talking so much. This is the solution. You know the solution. I know the solution. Implement it. But no, everybody will prefer to just keep talking about it over and over again. And even when they see people starting off, you know, on doing something, an action towards achieving that thing, they don't want to do anything. They want to watch and see. Hopefully, maybe when things start getting taken off properly and they now start seeing the benefits, they then want to join the gravy, quote unquote, gravy train. You see, and sometimes the train will be too late before they realize that that is where they should have been from the beginning. So, what am I talking about? Easy collaboration, coming together, holding hands, helping ourselves to grow. That's all it takes. Nobody's talking about, like, we don't have to wait for any grants, as it were. Do the little we can from our little spaces. And then when we do that, it's not always about, okay, yeah, so we have, the continent, has not been blessed with the best kind of leadership over the years. But if people start doing what they can do and showing that these things can actually be done, there are practical works already. You know, take where we are, for instance, this Zoom session. We're talking about collaboration. We're talking about, and the platform is powered by ViaNile, and we're talking of inviting just a few more people. That's all it takes. Inviting a few more people, sensitizing, giving them the information they require, helping them along to grow so that we all grow together. And then, if we do that, hit the like button. You see, these are little things that take nothing from us. And they are stuff we do anyways. We do this stuff, but when it comes to doing stuff that relate to Africa, stuff that would benefit Africa as a whole in the long run, our people, Africans, are very reluctant to do that. So it's a challenge. You see, a challenge for everybody to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take this up today. I'm going to get 10 people on board. I'm going to get 20 people on board, whatever number. Start small and grow. I'm going to get them on board. I'm going to help them grow. I'm going to see that whatever needs they have, whatever requirements, whatever help, support they need, I'll give it to them. If I cannot give it to them, I know where to look. That kind of way, we will grow. And hopefully, like you said, the Gates Foundation, and then Google and Microsoft. Yeah, that's a fantastic thing they're doing, and we look forward to stuff like that. And the other video you played there about Google helping African businesses, African-owned businesses grow. That's fantastic as well. You see, but all this help is coming from the outside. We need to be able to look inwards. We need to be able to say, you know what? The only competition I have is myself. You're not trying to compete with any other person. You're just trying to be a better or the best version of yourself. That's exactly what we need. And if we do that, I assure you that it's not as hard as people would make it out to be. And I believe personally that we
Awesome.
should actually take it as a challenge to counter all those negative vibes that people give off about Africans. You know, that Africans cannot cooperate, Africans cannot see anything through from the beginning to the end. You know, stuff like that. We need to counter all that and show that, as a matter of fact, we can. And because we can, we are doing it and we're going to succeed with it. Thank you very much, King Coco.
Yo, my man, I appreciate that, man. As usual, we spend more time building each other up than trying to work with each other. We spend more time seeing the differences in ourselves, and that trying to be why we drive a wedge between each other. We spend more time actually looking at tribalities without any sense of coordination among different component parts. And like it's always said in the Safe Agile training, which I did, it says optimizing a particular portfolio does not optimize the entire process. And the world today is going to see us struggle even more because we are a bunch of folks that look at stuff from a very personalized perspective without bringing the collective benefit, the collective interest as the driving force behind it. So I know that a lot of folks outside are really, a lot of these global companies, they're really seeing the potential in Africa and they're apparently looking for ways to support us. But we cannot leave this for people to just be supporting us. You know, so we need to lift our own weights and we need to be able to represent ourselves. We need to be able to drive leadership that has vision, you know, because at the end of the day, why you want to lead folk who don't have no vision? What's the blueprint? What's the roadmap? How are you going to make it happen? And people don't even think about this, and we keep on recycling a bunch of never do wells that probably will never change their approach or their mentality when it comes to technology, when it comes to youth empowerment, youth development, youth involvement as a way of driving change, you know, or taking up new frameworks or pick up new training here or there just to be able to drive change. So it makes it very, very frustrating and difficult. And I can tell you this straight up, until this changes, there's not much that can happen in this continent, you know. So I really, really appreciate all of us here. I'm Africa. I like that. How are you, my brother? Good to have you. You know, my brother, how are you? I see a new login there, and I think I know the acronym. Dr. Adedeji, how are you doing, sir? Welcome for joining us today. Is the ambassador there? Okay, Gina, are you back? I really want to hear your perspective. Ask me what's new on the driving powering platform of ViaNile. What's new? Let's know what's really happening and where we all fits in, because at this point the train is off the station. The next stop unknown. It might go for another $2 billion before you figure out where to stop. And by that time, there's no way going to benefit out of it. Today, we're still driving the founding members of the ViaNile platform. Please use our affiliate link. If you don't know how to create an affiliate link, let us know. We can put it through. A lot of YouTube videos already showcases how you can create those links where you could use to invite your friends and family and anybody else. So this could count towards you becoming a founding member. Take this seriously, because if certain global organizations of today making billions and billions of dollars had this kind of approach to widespread empowerment, I'm sure lots of us that probably would have done it then will be smiling to the bank like crazy. So we want this to be something that you look back tomorrow and really feel very cool that you jumped on it on time and did not have to sit back and wait, because nobody's ever made any change waiting, you know. So, Sonny Okuku, you want to contribute something? You've been on the show since we started, I guess. My brother, how are you? You can unmute the microphone and say hi and let us know where you at. But right now, I am doing this show from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's exciting to be here. I've been here for about 72 hours. I barely have enough time to sleep. It's all food, merriment, meeting old friends. So it's exciting to be here. And I look forward to having a lot of these shows here while I'm here, so I could actually drive this consciousness amongst folks here. Because sometimes it's easy to watch you on YouTube or just jump on the Zoom session while you're somewhere in America, somewhere in Europe. But being in the back neck of the wood and probably folks that just saw you a few hours ago, I think should tell them that these guys are serious. It is important to give a listening ear so that we don't keep having the wrong side of the bargain. It's not going to happen by others planning for us. We have to be strategic enough to plan for ourselves, educate ourselves, share the knowledge we have, share the opportunities, and let all of us get on the train and let the train ride smoothly to the El Dorado we always wanted. So I appreciate this time. If you've not subscribed to our Alliance of Pan-Africanization, please do that. And I have some questions on my chat forum. Please, can we just respond to what you think we're doing? I hope we're not too boring. I know I'm not really a very exciting guy, but I try to keep it real. And then in terms of the content that we're bringing together, we pretty much on point to drive the whole concept and the whole context of what the show we're trying to do. These are all stuff we want people to come together. Let us speak. Let us share this knowledge. Let us be able to contribute to whatever each other is doing. If you're doing a product, let's stretch out and buy one. If you have an application, let's stretch out and see what we can do with it. Because it's of no use that we're all running as silos without any connectivity. And we think we're going to break that ice and make a difference. That global brand, we need to create global brand out of our own products. It's not going to happen by mistake or by just wishing it happens. It's got to be deliberate. It's easier now, even in the music industry, in the telephone industry, in the software industry. It's all about numbers. Once you have your numbers, you got a deal. So let's drive these numbers and make sure that we get this to every knowledge, to every doorstep of our folks to step up and do the needful for their own self and their own children. This is something that we don't need to slack on. We don't need to push it under the carpet. We have to say it as it is. Sometimes it's really difficult to get people to say it as it is, but we need to be able to do this, you know. So please, let me get the feedback on the comments from the chat I threw up there on the scale of 1 to 5. How boring is the show? You know, on the scale of 1 to 5, what do you think about the content of a show? I want everybody on this show to go to the chat platform and drop us a comment, be sincere, so we can improve this program. We cannot permanently just assume all is well and we're going headlong. Meanwhile, our back end is totally messed up. Gina, you have the microphone. You can unmute yourself, Gina. And how is Atlanta? I'm doing this from the motherland. How's Atlanta, Gina?
Hey, King Coco, I see you doing it from the motherland. How's it there? How's everything going?
Man, it's all chopping, good time. I don't think I have enough yet. I've not had up to 6 hours of sleep since I got
you look like you're tired.
But I'm good. I'm happy to be doing this here too. Hoping
That's
that
awesome.
we'll get the desired results out of our brothers. Yeah.
Awesome. Everything's good here in Atlanta. Your question, you was like, how could we make the show better? I think it would be good to have other people speak, and give their other point of views, and maybe give like a different perspective of what's needed for Africa and for the app and things like that. So like maybe bring some speakers on or something like that. What you think?
Well, you can drive people into a certain mindset of contributing. It's a little bit difficult. People have different reasons why they try not to be out there, why they do what they do. Some don't even turn on their videos so we could actually capture them. So I totally subscribe to that. And I just had his feedback here. Scale of 1 to 5 for me is 2. Whoa, Violet, that's interesting. You want to throw more highlight on which aspects of the show that we should really work on in terms of what will excite more people and keep them here, because I've not seen nobody leave the show. So if you give me a scale of 1 to 5, give me a 2, then you equally have to explain how we can make it better, because I don't see nobody dropping off the show. Sonny, I heard your comment too. I would like to know what can be done to bring that value to keep us here, move on to 3, probably move us to 4, and then keep us running. So it's interesting. Please subscribe to us. Let's have your comment on our YouTube platform. On the invite that you receive, there's a YouTube functionality there. You could hit that button, take it straight to YouTube. So let's be contributing. Eddie John, how are you, man? I'd like to hear from you on what we can do to make this much better. So you may want to unmute your microphone, John Ediri, if you want to contribute something regarding how we're doing and how it is better.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
Fine, sorry, I'm at work, so I just I was kind of busy working night shift today.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I really don't have a problem with the discussion. It's just that I understand that people have different points of interest. They have things that piques their interest. Like the last time I had lots of friends sign into the platform. The last I think 2 conferences we had 2 sessions ago, because they felt like it was like more like a networking business they can learn from. And then when they logged in, it was more of African development and issues like that. And I think some of them were not so much interested in discussing issues with Africa, but they're all more interested in how to make money and stuff like that. So you see, so I think part of it is maybe because not everyone is just interested in discussing the development of Africa and how to bring people together and do some stuff in Africa, like as we are interested in this. So I think part of what it is, but ViaNile is what ViaNile is, and we cannot change that because this is background of ViaNile. We cannot change that because of anybody. So they have to come on board if they're interested. We cannot the basic foundations we cannot really change. But yeah, according to what Gina said, maybe we could have some speakers coming. Like the last time Prof came in and was talking about some effect of education and stuff like that in Nigeria. That was a huge plus as well. So maybe possibly we could have more speakers coming and could have more targeted topics. And so many persons who are interested in these topics could also log into the sessions, not because of this ViaNile stuff, also because they want to learn from this from the conversations as well, and also add these conversations as well. So when we want to share these messages out to WhatsApp or Zoom to invite people to come, we invite them on a particular topic, and not just because we want to discuss Africa, but we want to talk about a particular topic. So whoever's interested in that particular topic will also find it out of interest or curiosity to log into these Zoom sessions as well. So I think that, but if you want me to talk about ViaNile, I think this past, I think, okay, maybe on other things that talk about ViaNile. I don't think I have so much time left anymore, yeah.
That's good. We're interactive, so it's all about learning from your perspective, what you think and how it could be twisted to make it fly. So we don't have any time limit. After all, not a lot of people are training here, but in terms of bringing in specialty, I think that's pretty good. Okay, we'll appreciate that and try to do that. Okay, sorry, I'm doing this in an outdoor garden. Playing a major role in what we're trying to do. I thank you for that. The whole idea of filling in numbers here. Sorry, guys, for 1 minute. Let me just get. Sorry about that. I happen to be sitting in an outdoor garden. So some folks just drove in and were trying to be a little bit too loud. So I totally appreciate that. We're going to try to bring in a lot of subject matter specialists and try to, but it's just funny how we come from a continent that is really, really struggling just to survive. And people are very less motivated to delve into how it could be emancipated. I understand there's so much stories out there, but for once, we're really putting up a tool that could drive that change. So this is what I would know a bunch of folks have similar tools like that, but nobody seems to have access to them or know about them. So your points are pretty noted, and apparently we'll try to work around that as much as possible. Thank you for your contribution. Sonny Okuku, you have a remark that you're giving us a rating of 2, which is okay. We anticipate a lot of progress as we go. So you want to unmute your phone and contribute on how we can turn this around? Mr. Okuku, are you there? Okay, so guys, we appreciate having this show. This show runs on.
Good evening.
Okay, go ahead, Sonny. You have the microphone.
Yeah, good evening, King Coco, and good evening, everybody.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm all right. There isn't much to say.
Can I please speak into the microphone, please?
I'm basically listening at the moment. I'm like a student at the moment, learning. But I do know that what we are doing in summary is what African growth clearly wrote out in his whatever page. It says we win because we play together as a team. I think that's the direction, So as I learn, I'll be able to contribute better. But let it be understood that I'm still in the learning process. Thank you.
Thank you for sparing your time to be part of this discussion, because we're not going to quit in a hurry. We know there's a need to drive this consciousness and drive this mindset. We know our folks are barely represented when the big money players are putting the money out there, they're declaring this huge profit. So we know we don't even have a global brand as well that could attract this kind of profit that people throw out here. And we know a piece of that will do a lot to Africa. And so we're going to have to keep on doing this. Please bear with us for the boring shows that we put up, but we just hope we can gradually improve this. Violet says, I think, celebrities, anyone who does should get them to tweet about it, etc. Yeah, that's pretty much an easy way out, but we're working on that. Celebrities are really, really funny set of folks who feels that their status must be paid at every point. So we're just going to have to deal with that gradually, because we know the tool out here is still going to ride on its own as soon as possible once one or two magnetic issues are added to it. So we know we will get that done. Thanks, Violet. And I'm sure those celebrities will equally make the show interesting, because we always want to see our celebrities. But we're about to make ourselves those celebrities we want to see by collaborating amongst ourselves and being able to contribute to each other's strength and growth. It's all a numbers game, man. And whoever can pull those numbers can be that celebrity we're looking for. So thanks for that contribution, Violet. We're already working on a lot of opportunities. I'm sure one of these days we'll get this tripping, and I'm sure this will make a world of difference. Who else we got? Thanks, Sonny, again. And Lillian, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. Anyway, so guys, we don't intend to keep us for too long. Based on the content we had today, we pretty much exhausted all of it. And we look forward to having you guys same time Tuesday next week. And as usual, give us a subscription, give us notification alert so we can actually reach out to you without even the regular mails we send out. To get your friends, invite them to get to being the foundation members of ViaNile. And I look forward to doing this again. But next time I'll let you know what city I'll be in Nigeria, but I'm excited to be home. Let me still enjoy this moment, guys. So thank you guys very much for finding time to always log in. Gina, Elizabeth, Mohammed, Collins, John, guys, thumbs up, man. Appreciate your time totally.
Thank you. Excellent. Keep up the good work and enjoy your stay.
Thanks. Have a great time in Nigeria. Talk to you Tuesday.
All right, Gina. Okay, guys. Take care, guys. Appreciate it too.